people are in hospital in Queensland with COVID. 983 have been admitted, 24 are in ICU. It comes as Queensland experiences a big spike in the number of cases, almost 10,000 recorded in the previous 24 hours and 18 deaths. These new strains are so contagious, they're spreading so quickly, it's prompted one of Australia's leading infectious diseases experts to call for Omicron to be made a pandemic of its own.
But the thing with Omicron, even though it is COVID, it is challenging us in different ways. So even if you've been vaccinated in the past, even if you've had COVID with different strains, you're still susceptible to BA4 and BA5.
Moderna is developing a vaccine for BA45, but in the meantime, it looks like babies will be next in line to get vaccinated. The TGA has approved Moderna for use in babies aged 6 months to 5 years. It'll now be up to ATAGI to decide when that happens.
Okay, thank you very much, team.
All right, in breaking news this morning, traffic is heavy on Melbourne's west coast.
Sally, Larry, the Australian energy market operator has declared an emergency with Victoria's largest gas provider, Iona, at record low levels. This has really been compounded over the winter months. Demand has been really high. It's also coincided with a coal shortage. So until the end of September, at least, New South Wales and other states and territories won't be able to get their gas from Victoria. They'll be supplied by gas suppliers in Queensland instead. But the good news is we're told this won't impact household gas prices or supply. Guys?
Thank you very much, Izzy.
To Queensland and New South Wales as a new weather system bears down on the east coast. For more, we're joined by our reporters, 7 News reporter Caitlin Steadman joins us from the Gold Coast. Caitlin, conditions are set to worsen throughout the day.
Well, Koshi, these are conditions we would normally experience during cyclone season, but this morning Queenslanders are waking up to severe weather warnings from the Fraser Coast to Coolangatta and across the border in northern New South Wales. We're experiencing extremely damaging winds of up to 90 kilometres an hour, and that's expected to worsen throughout the day, peaking at 110 kilometres an hour. Residents are being told to secure loose items on their properties and move their cars under cover and away from trees. Authorities will also be monitoring creeks and rivers. We did experience heavy rain overnight, and that is expected to continue throughout the day. But at this stage, there is no flood watch. Police are encouraging motorists to be careful on the roads and to drive to the conditions. These warnings will be in place tomorrow, and blue skies will return on Sunday.
Not just on the road, 7 News coastal expert Paul Burt is on the Gold Coast. I think it's Snapper, are you, Bertie? This weather system whipping up some dangerous surf.
Yeah, Koshi, 100%, mate, down here on the border of New South Wales, Queensland. Yeah, it's pretty wild behind us there. Now, a lot of that swell being kicked up, obviously, by that east coast low. It's going to grow even bigger this afternoon as that low trudges closer to the southeast sector. Now, what we're going to see here at the moment, the Wave Rider Buoy, which is pretty much anchored about a mile and a half off the coast here, registering waves between that 4 to 6 metres. Now, the Brisbane Wave Rider Buoy up off Moreton is getting up waves up to 8 metres recorded. Now, some of the bombs coming through here have been quite big, mate, and the surfers, believe it or not, they've been out there since dark. I couldn't even see the waves coming through. You could hear them, and they were going out there. So we've had some of the world's best out here. Vic Fanning was out here yesterday. Of course, that swell's coming in from the east. It's going to change direction. It's going to slow down as well as we head towards Sunday, Monday. And, of course, early next week with southwesterlies forecast, we're going to see some pretty good surfing on the beaches, but a lot of erosion between now and then.
All right, Bertie, thank you.
Being detected in Australia, this time at Adelaide Airport. 7 News reporter Hayden Nelson is there. Hayden, another very close call with this virus.
Sally, an extremely close call. Biosecurity checks picked up viral fragments of foot and mouth in an undeclared beef product from a traveller coming into Adelaide Airport from Indonesia. Flights here typically come from Bali. Alarm bells also rang with a similar detection in pork floss at a Melbourne supermarket. Last night, the federal government declared it a national security issue with hundreds of thousands of cases on our doorstep. Farmers and graziers say if it gets here, it could be like a natural disaster similar to a bushfire or a flood. Measures have been put in place, including disinfectant mats as well as shoe cleaning for international arrivals. The opposition wants the border with Indonesia slammed shut, saying the government's doing too little, too late.
We need this government to take control of our biosecurity borders. They have let the ball slip because of indecisiveness by a minister that doesn't understand agriculture. And it's now time for the Prime Minister to come in and to take control.
Now, some of the measures that farmers also want taken is for the disease to be eradicated at the source, with Australia to buy cattle from overseas and to destroy them. Some are content with the measures being taken, but they're not taking any chances. The industry is worth $80 billion a year. Sally?
All right, thank you very much, Hayden.
Comes after Agriculture Minister Murray Watt gave the Prime Minister an update on the risk. But despite growing calls to close our border with Indonesia, it will remain open. Fragments of the disease have now been found in meat products or food in both Victoria and South Australia. Joining me now from Forest Reefs in New South Wales, farmer Peter Gorman. Peter, really appreciate your time. Are you happy with the government's response to this, make it a national security issue?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's going to have a major impact on agriculture and cause a lot of drama, probably in a lot of ways far greater than some of the drought, flood and fire issues we've had. But definitely it needs to be of national importance.
Yeah. Peter, for everyone watching in the cities, just explain how concerned you are and why you're so concerned about this.
If it gets into Australia, if it gets into the Central West, every animal on my property will be euthanised, killed, slaughtered to stop the spread of the disease. It won't only be my property, it'll be my neighbours' properties, it'll be all the animals, it's all the bovines, all cattle, all sheep, all goats will be shot, or will be put down. That is how the disease will stop. Will these generations of breeding, there will be impacts in the shopping centre. It's far from just a little issue. It is a huge issue in agriculture.
It is absolutely scary. When it happened in the UK all those years ago, it cost $8 billion. So it is just devastating. Should we be closing borders with Indonesia? Understanding that it's also in Malaysia as well, isn't it? And China. So we're in a region surrounded by countries with this.
It's not only Indonesia, Malaysia. From my reading, it's endemic in South America and things like that, places like that. It's like closing the borders is a simplistic issue. I think there's a lot of people who've got to take responsibility when they go overseas, know where they're going and understand the risks and understand the risks to the country about it.
Yeah, mate, that is a very good point, because when you get that little form as you come back into Australia with the box that says, have you been on a farm overseas? And people go, oh, well, I don't want to get held up at customs and don't tick it. It's up to us to tick that box if we've been there and make sure our shoes are clean and we're not bringing anything in.
Yeah, look, I've got a number of mates and people I know who are far more professional in agriculture than I am, and their whole method of operation, if they go overseas, is to take a pair of shoes they do not bring back. Yeah. That's the basis of everything, and people have to take responsibility for their actions when they go overseas. It's just the way it is.
Peter, appreciate your time. Thank you for explaining it so well to us. Good on you.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Here's Kylie.
Right, as you can see, public phones. You just put your coins in there or your card and you ring anywhere around Australia. Yeah, quite a few of them all over the place. You can probably see that red box where that car is. It's Australia Post for mailing. So these things, and these are like electronic boards, but this one's not electronic, but there are electronic ones. Yeah. Phone calls are now free for everyone to anywhere in Australia. They're now free. You can just pick it up and dial. Oh, well, that's great. And Australia Post, they've got their own vehicles. Obviously, they've got big trucks, small vans like the one you just saw. Here's a pub, Red Cow Hotel, right next to Westfield Penrith Plaza. And the train station across the road, bus terminal. is also here. Here comes a bunch of people. There's a pub there, continues on. Don't want to record kids. People get upset. Taxi rank. Cabs from all kind of different companies. Look at all the vehicles around here. They're all pretty much brand new, you know. Not much more than 5 years old. Here comes another bus, not in service. Yeah, somebody's just got it. See what? Everyone bits the horn around in taxi, mate. Fucking useless, mate. Taxi drivers, fucking hopeless. Come on. You got their green signal, walk. Me and A. Never heard of that. Must be around here somewhere. Taxi ring. It's a Toyota. Some sort of Toyota. Yeah, another Toyota. They all seem to be taxis, mate. Toyotas. What are they, Camrys? Yeah, Toyota Camry. Whoopsie daisy. Want to go this way. People obviously bring their shopping trolleys here to catch the bus home and just leave the trolleys around. As you can see, look at all the trolleys everywhere. The company, whoever the shop, this one belongs to Coles New World. Yeah, they're supposed to go around and collect all their trolleys, but now obviously they don't. That's a Camry, eh? Toyota Camry, Australia version. It's got it's hybrid. They all seem to be the same, eh? Toyota Camrys. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Anyway, don't interest myself with that. Look at the crow. As the crow flies. Lucky I wasn't standing there. It would have shit on me. Oh, there's another one right here. Right there. A bit dark, the video footage. Don't know why. No, it's not. Sun's not out. They're pretty big considering, you know. They're probably one of the biggest birds in Australia besides, you know, the emu, ostrich and eagle. They're probably next in line for size-wise. He might be camera shy. Keeps hiding behind all the leaves. Oh, he's got a nest up there, that's why. It's feeding the young ones. Oh, he might be building, I think he's building a nest. Bit of a weird place to build it. Well, this is my bus stop. Stand 20. Stand B. Stop ID 275076. Now I want the next 784 or 786. It's about 11 o'clock or something. So 786 will be 11:47. Whatever time it could be now, that's the bus I'll have to catch. 791. That says Penrith. Looks like 913 on that bus down there. Yeah, so there's a Toyota Echo, I think it is. Kind of car I used to drive before for Australian fuel injections, but that's probably the newer model, of course, since 2010 model that I had. No, I didn't have it, but I was driving it. See more shopping trolleys here. People just dump them anywhere. Not in service. There's one over there buried in the bushes. There's another few more here. They just don't come around and collect them. And there's another one all the way down the other end. That's the delivery section for all the shops. It's a delivery dock. Another one, not in service. I don't know, this video on my screen looks all dark. He's not in service, I don't think, because there's nothing on the side. Emu Heights, 688. Emu Heights. That's Emu Plains, and that's, I don't know, about half an hour bus trip. Bus driver just waved. Yeah, so let's see if I can do some more video footage in another day or so. I just don't come out here all that much. I've got to find somewhere to reload my card. Now, I should have enough on my card, my Opal card, which is this card. Put money on it, and you swipe it on the bus like I've shown before. Yeah, so anyway, we've seen enough. This was pretty much just a little bit of a walk around, showing the kind of cars we have and stuff like that. The telephone boxes, they're all over the place. Pretty much on every second or third corner, out the front of shopping centres, in the middle of the streets, like those streets that I go through to come here. Not in service again, eh? There's a lot of buses not in service, I'll tell you. This it's not a transport strike per se, but it is a transport slow down, upset all the people. Well, look at the crows, there's heaps of them. They sure know how to make a racket. Alright, that'll do, I think.